Man, this shit is getting crazy. Never seems to amaze me. I think the devil's trying to play me. Oh, Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Use Your Own Intelligence podcast. I am your host, Fritz, and today I just want to get straight into it, right? I don't plan to be up here too long, but I just want to get a couple of points across and what I've been seeing lately for the past few weeks, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest, like, you have to be smart enough by now to know when the media is causing distractions, right? And recently, just to bring up this whole Haitian situation and what we're dealing with Haitian immigrants in this country, with the elections, the upcoming elections, and what have you, it just seems to me, right, that people are really dumb enough to believe there's Haitians out here eating cats, dogs, and geese just straight off the streets, right? I mean, you're not even realizing how the media keeps you distracted from discussing and challenging your presidential candidates from serious issues America is facing, as well as Haiti as well. You got to understand me. You know, this relationship with Haiti and America has always been a bad one. You know, despite how many times they've trained that country of all their most educated, most skillful people to come here to America, because, you know, that's always been the tactic. You know, we destabilize the country and we get all the best that they have to come over here so that country can never see growth. That's always been the tactic. And if you don't believe it, you should really do your research on how this country and many other Western, powers have destabilized that place and kept that place down, right? But I'm more disappointed in the sheeple, as I always am. You know, what the government does is always expected. You know, if you do your history, things don't really change as far as how this government operates. But, over the week, we literally got distracted from the serious issues that, is really facing this country and Haiti alone. And before, I do want to play a quick video because recently on Breaking Points, there was a guy named Matt Walsh who was, a guest there, right? And in speaking of Matt Walsh, thank God, we had some new, I want to say some journalists from Breaking Points who really weren't scared to speak truth. These people really came out and told Matt Walsh the truth. And if you would hear Matt Walsh, his response, it's not all negative. Some of the things he's saying is like, you know what, you're right. Haiti has some parts to blame, but we got to acknowledge when the U.S. government has most blame. And as I stated before, it's mind-boggling to me how we, as the people, we find it so hard to read through bullshit. If y'all don't know, like literally, right, within the first couple hours, within the first day, that whole concept of Haitians eating cats and dogs was debunked early. I mean, you don't got to take my word for it. Just listen to the Springfield, Ohio mayor, the city manager, the chief of police, and even the damn governor himself, the Republican governor himself. They already told people we have no tangible evidence of this. It's all rumors. It's not true. And just so happened, the person that ate a cat happened to be a Black American woman. But you would think in an age of, ring cameras, traffic cameras, cell phones everywhere, for all these people that are accusing this for happening, you'll be smart enough to think that, all right, where's the tangible evidence? Where's the videos? Confirm that there's Haitians out there doing it. But we still had idiots and sheeple people willing to even make this a conversation. What made it even worse, we had Haitians who even entertained it. People that don't speak on none of the serious issues that Haiti is facing. I've seen like celebrity Haitians that never speak on Haiti and their serious issues coming out, being distracted and talking about this dumb shit as if you would think they were paid to come out and speak on it just to keep the distraction going from the true issues that America and Haiti, both face. Like you would think that, okay, people, I'm thinking in my mind, I didn't even want to speak on that. As soon as I heard it, I just ignored it. It was, to me, I already knew it was some bullshit, but the idiots are going to eat it up alive. But I was expecting, always have that high expectancy of people, to use their common sense, to judge. I'm like, okay, people are going to debunk this. We're living in the age of AI, cameras everywhere. If it's true, we would have seen it, right? But no, still to this day, this conversation is going. And just this week, like I was saying, I want to play this video, and I want you guys to take away from this video. Okay, I don't want to make it long, but it's very important that you watch this video because it seems as if when white people are saying something, unfortunately in this country and around the world, it resonates better. That's when people start to listen. Because when the black man is telling you the truth, it's more like, oh, okay, all right. But, I'm hoping now that white people are admitting this and they're keeping it real and they're being truthful about this whole situation. I want to know then how you're going to process this information. So, without further ado, I want you to watch On Breaking Points when these two journalists are talking to Matt Walsh and they're explaining not only how much bull, this whole conversation is, but they're going to go into detail even more of how Haiti got to where they are and why things that you see are happening now. But without further ado, please just take a quick watch.
Has there been legitimate racism directed by high-profile Republican lawmakers? This is the accusation on the table towards the Haitian community in the United States, and particularly in Springfield, Ohio, in the last couple of weeks.
No, absolutely not. I haven't heard it. Everything I've heard has been critical of the fact that we're importing, thousands of people from the third world who are coming into communities. And look, America, nobody thinks that it will benefit America to become more like Haiti. Nobody thinks that. Or I would challenge anyone, if they do think that, to explain how that's the case. Like, in what way could this country be improved by making it more like Haiti? When you look at Haiti, what part of Haiti are you saying to yourself, we need more of that?
Beaches.
Well, we have more beaches than them too, right? Don't we?
Right.
We're a much bigger country.
Right. We don't want a marine invasion and occupation of the United States that constantly decapitates governments and takes the money out of the country and saddles us with
we don't want the Clintons
debt
either.
from a revolution. Yeah.
Right. Although I don't. So you're saying that
we wouldn't want to be like basically a colony that the entire West spends 200 years punishing after the Haitian Revolution.
I get that. I understand that, but also at a certain
we
point,
wouldn't want that. No, yes.
we wouldn't want that. But I would also say that that's not entirely why Haiti's in the position that it's in. I mean, at a certain point, as a country, you have to stand on your own 2 feet and take care of yourself. And
but at what point is that? They elect Aristide and we overthrow Aristide. Then they elect Jovenel Moïse. Jovenel Moïse is assassinated a bunch of people with American connections, and then we install in 2021, like the United States installed the prime minister that we just ousted. Like, so we could say, okay, yeah, you got to get over the 200 years ago, but like we're still doing it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not in favor of. I'm very non-interventionist.
So just to my Haitians alone, I mean, now that it's coming out of the white man's mouth, all right, for all you Haitians that are, that are telling me to go vote for either Democrats or Republicans, here is a group of white people sitting on the table telling you that it didn't matter who, whether it was the Clintons or whether it's these former Republicans now. Like, there is no one party better for the other in Haiti. Haiti is going to have to, and let me just speak to my Haitians here. You guys are going to have to stop clinging on to a government that hasn't been good for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you have to get to a point where, even though it might get uncomfortable, you're going to have to go get with your Haitian brother, your counterpart, whoever you might be having problems with, and you're going to have to work it out yourselves. You got to understand what Anthony Blinken is leading right now in Haiti. It's not being even talked about enough. Do you not understand that 99.9% of the guns that these gangs are dealing with, they're manufactured by the United States? And yet the United States has not truly been able to crack down and link back for who is truly responsible for this. It's always a Haitian face they're here to blame, or some type of oligarch, but they're really not talking about the people in government who are allowing this. That's the distraction. But they're rather talking about geese and dogs and cats. That's the shit that we want to talk about. Like, it's getting ridiculous at this point, just, for my Haitians out there, how you guys are really being distracted and nobody really wants to put the energy into our own people and to really discuss and handle things amongst our own. Do you not believe I have family members that are telling me I should go vote Democrat in order to keep Donald Trump from coming in office, as if there's going to be any difference? But when the white man says for 200 years, no matter who's in office and the Western powers alone, they've all contributed to the destabilization of what you see in Haiti. But yet I have people telling me to go vote Democrat in order to stop Donald Trump from getting in office, as if there's going to be a fucking difference. Excuse my language. I've survived the Trump presidency. It's really no different from what the Democrats do. It's all the same. How you move about in life, your individual ethic, your work ethic, your knowledge is what gets you through. There is no presidential election that can help you. Like it's really, ladies and gentlemen, it's truly getting ridiculous, man. I at this point I don't know what it's going to take for people to start using some common sense and to really start thinking and not to be so easily distracted. If I got to stand alone on this ideology of, listen here, Haitians, for all you guys, for all you fools that are telling me to go vote Democrat in order to keep Trump off, like it makes a difference. If I got to stand on an island myself with my own ideology before everything goes down, I'm comfortable with my soul. I could care less. If I have to be the only guy that felt like, hey, you have to let go of this government, either or, it's bad. The popular vote has never counted to pick a presidential election, but yet I have people telling me to go vote Democrat as if my vote is going to count. Have we totally ignored the Electoral College and what it stands for and what it's been doing for years in this country? Have people playing that stupid? We got Haitians truly thinking if you run to the election to go vote for Kamala, our lives are going to be better. It doesn't work that way. It never has. Here goes a white man telling you for 200 years, no matter what we have done with this government, we have always had to pay the price. To me, at this point, whatever happens to Haiti, when you're clinging on to this U.S. government, it's well-deserved at this point. I've been telling you guys for episodes, there's two different kinds of Haitians. There's only two kinds. Don't let anybody fool you. There's literally only two kinds of Haitian that exist in this world. There's an Haitians that believe in clinging on to the U.S. government, and there's Haitians that claim for doing for self. If you hear anybody making any kind of conversations or any connotations to go vote and they're Haitians, they're fools. It's unfortunate I even have family members and Haitians in my community that don't even get it. I have to separate myself from them. I have to tell them, don't bring it up to me. I don't want to hear it. Miss me with the bullshit. And as God is my witness, I don't want to hear it. There's not a thing you can tell me to persuade me to think differently that this U.S. government is going to help if I go vote Democrat. You are a fool. You make zero sense, ladies and gentlemen. Recently, just to, kind of elaborate on, the things that are happening in this country, Jerome Powell has basically lowered the interest rates by 50 basis points, okay? Which is big news because he's been aiming for a 2% inflation rate, and he's been really hard on that. And he really never wanted to lower interest rates. If you go back and listen to his speeches, he's been very adamant of reaching a 2% inflation rate. He wanted to get it back down to 2%. Right now, we're at like 2.9. Okay, so he hasn't even gotten to that goal. And every time they would question this man, at press conferences about, well, does the upcoming election have anything to do with this? He would say no. It has nothing to do with it. This is by a meeting, situation. We will find out as the data comes in. But for him to be that adamant about reaching 2% inflation, and right before the election, in November, coincidentally, he drops it by 50 basis points. He's telling us that the economy is thriving, but yet the job reports are showing people are losing jobs. And if you don't remember when he was sitting in front of Congress and he had to state, in order for us to restabilize the economy, we're going to have to see a great amount of job losses. And at the same time, when I'm trying to put all this together, Jerome, right, you're saying people have to lose jobs, we have to see, all these layoffs and whatnot in order to curb this economy and whatnot. Less spending needs to happen, We have 15 million immigrants that is coming in within the past 4 years on the Democratic watch, right? 15 million so-called legal, immigrants, if you let the Democratic administration explain that to me, right? And I'm trying to understand if this country has to suffer job losses, which it has, okay, in order for us to be restabilized, make sense out of this large rush of legal immigration that was allowed by the Democrats? Does that make any sense to you guys? And Mr. Jerome Powell is telling us before election, him bringing down the basis points to 50%, 50 basis points has nothing to do with the elections. Like, Mr. Jerome Powell, who are you fooling? Who does this U.S. government really honestly think they're fooling? They're fooling a lot of people. Do y'all not want to question at all what is happening in this country? Y'all don't want to make sense of all of this? Like, does anybody want to make sense? Or do we just go along to get along these days? And we don't really question anything anymore. We just, whatever happens, happens. Let me just worry about my money and my family. Is that where it's gotten? Because I'm telling you now, if that's going to be the mentality from here on forward, you could really expect some terrible things continuing to happen. You really can. Nothing at all is making sense. People don't want to use their mind. Nobody is questioning authority. And I would really, truly advise most of you to really start doing that. Stop believing and paying attention to distractions and look for the critical things that we really need done in this country. And let's make some sense of it. I've been telling you guys a few episodes ago to prepare for a Trump presidency. So if I have to really make sense of this, I think those 50% basis points, and it's just me speculating, I honestly believe they're being brought down because they're preparing for a Trump presidency. If you go back and just listen to the things Trump are saying, he's really the guy that's going to really aim to boosting up our businesses again, the economy. He's going to just start letting things happen. He's going to, he has these great tax cuts for tips. And he's talking about all the good things that, this country needs. And then you hear Kamala recently. Now she wants to allow fracking and everything Trump was about that she used to be again. And no matter how many times we play tapes of this woman back forth, and trust by God, I could care less for either party. As I just stated to you guys, the Electoral College is what picks a president. Your vote means nothing. And if you think your vote means something, you're just one of the fools. You're just part of the sheeple in this country. I really want those type of people away from me because mentally I don't even know how to process you. So if you're around me, let's not talk politics. Let's not talk anything. Let's just have fun and bullshit. Please do not. If you are one of those that thinks your vote counts and you want to encourage me, don't bring none of this up. You are wasting your time with me as well as your own. Oh my goodness, God's gracious people. I really don't know what to expect from people anymore these days, man. It's the reason why I really keep to myself, man. I don't mind being that guy that happens to be right while everybody's wrong. If that has to be, I don't mind staying to myself. Me, my lady, my family. I don't mind just going somewhere, chilling, and staying the hell away from people until, I told you so come. Because I really love to be the I told you so guy here on the Use Your Own Intelligence podcast. There's a reason why I came up with this podcast. I really wanted to be the I told you so, whether, believe it or not. But for the smart ones, I see y'all in the comment sections when I'm in my TikTok. I see you guys. You're acknowledging it. And hats off to you. I salute y'all. But it's not too many. Most of the people that I'm noticing they're sheep was not till, it comes late. Just I don't want anybody to say Fritz didn't tell you so. For all those, for all these Democrats that think, Democratic voters that think, it's good for, Haitians to vote Democrat. All that idiotic ideology or people that believe in a popular vote. It's sad. It's sad. And even more, I tried to pay for a promotion for a snippet because I went into the Electoral College and I wanted to start a TikTok trend. I really did. And I wanted to start a TikTok trend and getting rid of the Electoral College for all these people that truly believe this place is a democracy, even though it's very much so like a republic. I wanted to start a TikTok trend. I tried to pay for that promotion. Did you not know TikTok shot that down? They didn't even, something, in this free country that we live in America, I just wanted to, do it the right way and start a TikTok trend and get with my legislative, my local congressmen and my people to literally get rid of the Electoral College. Because if you watch the debate, you should see how many times both Kamala and Trump came out their mouth and called this place a democracy when it's very much not so. The only thing democratic is your local elections. And even then that's tainted with. Because the moment they start raising up, they start getting influenced by, corporations and they get paid off. So whatever you want, it gets shut down. That's why there's an electoral college, because the people do not run this place. If this place was truly a democracy, do you honestly believe there would be an electoral college? If the popular vote is all they need, if this was truly a place for the people by the people, for all the, fools that truly believe that, you don't see how you're being manipulated? You're not really smart enough to really process the electoral college. Like I said before, TikTok themselves stopped the promotional process for I can reach a broader audience. Something I was coming out my own money with to pay. They didn't even accept it, sent my $25 right back. Do y'all not see how even the truth is getting censored? Did you not see when TikTok had to go sit in front of Congress? Did you not see when, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook and Instagram and Meta had to go sit in front of Congress? How they grilled those guys? They don't want these guys releasing the truth. They have every excuse to why they should not let people have freedom of speech anymore. Certain things can't be said. Ladies and gentlemen, this place is nothing like a democracy. You are being controlled. Almost everything, a bit of truth is being censored. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get into my next topic, all right? Shout out to Kendrick Lamar over the week, man. Kendrick dropped a song, over the last few weeks. I think it's time to watch the party die, which is, I think, the title of, the song. And it's been a while. I've been able to let a track play on repeat for a while. So when I'm in the truck and I'm doing my thing and I'm dropping my loads here and there, right? Literally, it's been a while since I could really play a rap song and keep it on repeat damn near the whole day. I wouldn't say the whole day, but man, did I really play that song. If you really go back and listen to I Think It's Time to Watch the Party Die, and you really process those words, that's really what hip-hop has been missing. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've been paying attention what's been happening in hip-hop, a.k.a. the rap game, but a lot is definitely starting to unfold. And a lot of artists are starting to prove how much of a cancer they are to society, despite the good they sometimes do. But to me, it's safe to say that the bad is definitely outweighing the good. Okay? Recently, we all know about Diddy and his downfall, as well as what happened with Kanye West. All right? And more recently, the back and forth with 50 Cent and Dame Dash, right? I want y'all to know how toxic the rap game has come, and the warnings have always been there, but yet the sheeple and ignorant have led to the growth and toxicity of the hip hop that you see now, right? Only the wise have been able to process how rap has become a negative influence on black culture, okay? I mean, CEOs are stepping down from major music labels. I mean, soon after Sean Combs received his criminal charges, right? All right. And he's been incarcerated. And the CEOs that have stepped down, I just want to name the few, which is the Nike CEO, John Donahoe, the CEO of Sony Music, Randy Goodman, the CEO of Warner Music, Kaz Kabayashi, excuse me. And last but not least, surely, the CEO of the 300 Entertainment, Kevin Liles, right? And this back and forth I see, with a lot of our big rap moguls, it's starting to get a little bothersome. And the first person that comes to mind is 50. Now 50 Cent to me does, his bad outweighs the good he does, right? 50, I'm noticed, has been on a lot of sucker shit lately and a lot of clown behavior. But nobody, not too many people will stand to 50. A lot of people I think are either D-riders or they're just scared, I can't relate to either one of those two. Once I see some foolery, I gotta address it. I could care less who you are. I gotta call it out for what it is. And most recently, 50 was on Invest Fest, flexing, all right, talking about all his business ventures, and more than likely he was throwing shots at a few people, right? I want to play this clip that I want y'all to understand how much of a, sucker, or how much, 50 has been on some sucker shit lately. Because the thing I told you on my last episode, when I even played a little snippet of this back and forth he's going with Dame Dash, and why Dame Dash to me makes more sense, I want to tell you how 50 picks and chooses his battles wisely. See, I never really known, 50 to be on any type of suckerness, right? But I'm noticing it's happening more and more. It's like the more money you get, the more of a sucker he's becoming. 50 has this thing where he'll beef with niggas all day. He has no problems, right? But when it comes to them folks, it surprises me how shook he gets and how he keeps his mouth shut. Whether he likes, whether he's money hungry and he cares all about his bread and power, I could care less in my opinion, but it just seems like he picks and chooses his battles wisely. For a guy that claims he's tough and he'll go at anybody, Mr. I got shot 9 times, his characteristic is really starting to be flawed. You see, what bothers me is, I want to play, what bothers me is how he went into InvestFest and he spoke about Kanye West. And he also spoke about Diddy. And he went also into, he said something in regards to how his publicist told him to stay away from politics and religion. But yet I've seen him speak on politics before. I can clearly remember him, flat out saying, well, how can you guys, when he was talking about Trump, he said he relates more to Trump. And when the lady asked him, why do you relate more to Trump? Because he got RICO charges. So he'll speak politics when he chooses to. He looks up to Trump, by the way. He thinks Trump is a gangster. So, he does speak politics, but he does this little sucker shit when he want to speak on it when he wants to. And he kind of plays with the people, but he can't play with me. He plays with the sheeple all the time and the D-Riders. But I want to play 2 clips from InvestFest that really show how much of a sucker 50 has been and how much of a cancer he's been in the rap game and what he's been doing, how he loves to go against his people. When it comes to them upper-ups, he shuts his mouth. That's what makes him a sucker to me. The rest of y'all gonna ride him. I know. Rest of y'all gonna be scared of him. But no, leave it to me. I'll speak out on it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be that dude. But without further ado, please take a watch out of these 2 clips. And this is the reason why I tell y'all 50 is more of a problem than he is a contributor in helping this hip-hop industry and this culture. Just take a watch.
And I start telling them the stuff that my publicist told me, right? Because she told me 2 things you don't say. You don't say nothing about religion, and you stay away from politics, right? Because no matter what your beliefs are, someone passionately disagrees with you, right? So you just stay away from that. And then if you don't believe she was correct, all you have to do is ask Kanye. That's what he did. Both went to politics.
I think he did both.
Went to politics, and then he went and said some shit about the...
Couple people. Easy.
Now you notice I didn't say that shit, right?
Your publicist backstage.
They ripped me off too, man. God damn it. They did. They ripped me off. Because one of the head guys, they were able to send a letterhead from Beam Centauri over to France and get the champagne company to commit to coming out and talking to them. And they have these things like you put agency fees, like someone who contacted your grower or a person who's producing the cognac for you and made the deal for you. They put agency fees on the product. To give you an example of the scheme that they put together, it's like, say you wanted to sell T-shirts, and I go to China for you. And I tell the people in China, how much can you make the shirt for? And they tell me $4. And then I come back and I tell you, yo, they said $8. And then every time you send the check to the producer, they just put $4 on the side for them every time. They ciphered off about $6 million from me in the very beginning. The legal fees has been almost a whole nother, almost $10 million.
See, I already know. A lot of y'all gonna play stupid after watching those 2 clips, and y'all gonna play like y'all ain't got a clue of what I'm talking about. I know. Because that's how much sheeple we got in this world. That's how many D-Riders we got, right? Y'all gonna play stupid. Y'all gonna act like them 2 clips, y'all gonna be oblivious to what I'm talking about. But for those who know, you know, right? 50, you came at Kanye, right? And for y'all that don't know, Kanye at one point spoke about how these music execs, and not just in music, but also in business with Adidas and what have you, who just happen to be part of the Jewish community, how they've been screwing him over, as well as, a lot of, just our culture in general. You know what I'm saying? Both in the entertainment business, in the business, and, clothing business, whatever have you, right? He was brave enough to speak out. And 50 Cent is talking about, oh, you see what happened to Kanye. What happened to Kanye, Fifth? What happened to him? Last time I checked, he's still rich. See, because he's not as rich as you? You think he's hurting? He's going through some things? No, I think Kanye would be fine. Kanye still is seeing, he's still in that 1% bracket that majority of the people in the world will never see. That's why it's considered to be in the 1%. That's the wages he's making. So he ain't hurting. But I want to bring up a valid point before I go into how he went back and forth and try to, come at Diddy and Kanye, right? A few episodes ago, and I'm always saying to myself, well, black people, what is enough as far as when we really start pulling our resources together, right? At what point do we stop competing and we say, we got enough money. We don't really need to make business with these higher upper ups that keep screwing all of us over, right? At what point is enough? You're in the 1% bracket. When do you think, okay, all right, I don't really need that much money. I think I'm good. I'm seeing more than what the average human being is going to see in this world. I would think that's enough of it. Some people is like, hey, man, why you counting that man money? Let him do what he do. It's always some clown sucker shit I always hear in the comment section, and I hear from people in general about when I'm asking when is enough. You understand what I'm saying? But I think Kanye has enough. So when 50 is saying things like, well, you see what happened to Kanye. Kanye's good, man. Kanye just had more nuts than you, Fifth. You see them two dudes sitting at that couch, they was D-riding. They didn't want to keep it real. They didn't want to tell you what Kanye did was real and that, it was appreciated. I know for me it was. I would have told him. I said, I seen what Kanye did. It was respectful. But when you got people in the industry like these two guys sitting down next to him, which, I really ain't got no problem with ERL, but I tell you, I got to call things out when I see them. They was D-riding. They laughing and joking and acting like it's funny. But in all reality, Kanye really stood up on business. And he took an L for it, but not too much of an L where he's on our level. Kanye is still in that 1% bracket. He's very much rich. Kanye's still generating income on his own without those people in which the Dame Dash and all of us been telling you. Oh, what a coincidence. He came on the Dame Dash anyway, right? So when you see Fifth, he's throwing these shots, you know what I'm saying, at our people. But when he goes into the liquor industry and he said, hey, when he started talking about Diddy, he said, hey, man, them people got me too for about 10 million. Right? And that was just in fees. And he also went to another 6 million when they jerked them off, just the product alone. And he gave you the breakdown. But 50, that's who you should have your smoke with. Then people cost you some money, but for some odd reason, you pull back. You don't want no smoke with them, right, Fifth? That's that clown behavior I'm telling y'all about. Most people ain't gonna call you out, but bro, don't worry. Leave it to me in the Use Your Own Intelligence podcast. I'll bring it up. Since everybody want to play sucker, right? Since that's what we do. That's what I see everybody doing. Like I told you, I'm not here to fit along, to go along, to get along with the crowd. If I got to stand alone to tell you I told you so, so be it. That's some real sucker shit I see you doing, Fifth. Ain't nobody gonna tell you. They gonna laugh and joke with you because they scared. But that's the problem. Ain't too many people around to really tell it how it is. But don't worry, leave it for me. You got the nerve to talk about Diddy getting jerked and whatnot, but you beefing with Diddy. But them people that's jerking both of y'all, you ain't got no smoke with it. Why? Because your publicists say so. Fifth, when have you ever been the person to listen to anybody? Fifth, I thought you stood by yourself and you were strong, bruh. Mr. Bulletproof Vest himself, going against the whole Jamaica Queens and Supreme. Not you. You playing sucker now. You see, that's the thing, right? When you see these rap cats, you understand? And now I see why you got people like Charleston White calling these rappers all clown and he can't stand them. I see why people like that can't stand y'all. Y'all pick and choose against your own peoples, man. Y'all don't be really ready to stand on what y'all claim y'all are, which is tough, and you'll go against anybody. Mr. Supreme himself, Mr. I had the Bulletproof Vest on going on the whole Supreme chain. He's scared to go against anything else but his own people. And you sheeple just D-riding and just going right along with it. That's the sad part, man. That's the sad part, man. For my black people, what are we doing, man? Whether you Haitian, African, foundational black Americans, like what is the goal, man? What is the goal? What we getting at? For the rappers like Kendrick Lamar, I salute you, bro. The David Banners, the J. Coles, I salute y'all, man. It's just we ain't got enough of them. We got a lot of clown behavior. We got a lot of clown behavior and people just, going along to get along. When do we say enough is enough, man? When does it get to the point where enough is enough? I had an episode about that. Y'all should go check it out. When is enough enough? Because it's really starting to get uncomfortable out here. It's getting real uncomfortable out here. And I have no problem standing alone. I really don't. If I got to have a small group of people that really get it, and they really unite and really understand and really go with this movement, I salute y'all, man. I really do, man. I salute y'all and I appreciate it. But if you're in the business or you in this game and you D-riding and everything is a joke and you ready just to laugh everything off, like, yo, do y'all not understand how serious it's getting out here? Like, how many examples do you need? Are you that fearful where you just don't want to address it? Are you that foolish? Are you just that dumb when you ain't able to acknowledge it? I mean, what's it going to take, my black people, or just people in general? What's it going to take? Like, every time we get to a music mogul who's getting money and he really can make some significant change and he can really be that guy to unite, I'm noticing he's really just a bought. He's just a bought rapper. His publicists and people of that nature, they're telling him, hey, man, don't do that. As much as I would never think 50 be one of them dudes. Here's 50 telling us, his publicist is telling them to stay away from politics and religion. But I've heard this dude even on the Breakfast Club admiring Donald Trump for being a gangster, so he said. But he don't mess with politics. And fast forward, when he was asked about Donald Trump and how he could relate, because he got RICO charges. But now I don't speak on politics. You let him tell it, right? See, y'all not going to be able to read through his bullshit, but don't worry. Leave it to me. Leave it to me. I'll see right through it. I'll say something. Since y'all scared or y'all just plain damn stupid, whatever the case may be, I'll say something, man. But for those that could relate and understand, man, please rock with me. Please understand and acknowledge what you see and what's happening out here. Oh, my goodness, man. And last but not least, man, I want to just touch on, in general, before I wrap this up, you know what I mean? I want to touch on, in politics, just being an American and how these two wars that we in, just last week, as much as I, don't want to play this footage, I wouldn't want to play this footage because I know I'm going to get flagged and they're going to take me down and I'm going to have all these issues. But for y'all that, follow grassroots law, and let me just make sure that, I got that name down correctly. But grassroots law on Instagram, if y'all go check this reel out, just, recently, literally there was a missile from Israel that struck an elementary school in Gaza. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where your tax dollars is going, all right? Americans, for all my Americans out there, we ain't even making this a black or white thing. We're just strictly talking about Americans. There was literally a missile. If y'all go see this video about little infants, babies, that they're running all bloody, bleeding to death. You see 3 or 4-year-olds laying on the floor with missing limbs. They're trying to tie to stop the bleeding. These guys are just, it's bad, right? For all y'all that think, I just want to remain optimistic, you got to be a realist at one point. You got to come to reality of what's happening and with yourself. Never once would I encourage anybody to be a pessimistic, but if you're being optimistic or pessimistic, you're kind of like, you're not being real with yourself. You got to find a way to get some balance and just deal with reality. You got to be a realist these days because there's too much going on for you to remain too optimistic or too pessimistic. You should never be either or. I'm always a realist in my everyday data life. You know what I'm saying? There's not too much to be optimistic about because wrong can happen and we cannot ignore that. There's a lot of negativity going on. But I really would strongly encourage people to really start getting involved with, at least the least is your local, politics. If not your local politics, get with some like-minded people in your community that y'all can really rally together and really, start trying to make some significant change. Because let me tell y'all something. This video that I've seen and numerous others from Sean King and Grassroots Law, they're very disturbing in life to know that these are the things that are happening and it's coming from our tax dollars that we are contributing to one way or another. And when you don't get involved, this is what your congressmen, these are the decisions that they're making for you on your behalf, whether you like it or not, because you're not getting involved. See, I don't really see too much of this footage going on in Israel, but a lot of this is happening in Gaza. for something to happen on October 7th, we really don't see the footages. I don't see all these footages of all these gruesome things that I hear the Trumps and I hear everybody stating that they're seeing. How come they haven't been released yet? I don't know. But when it comes to what the savagery that's going on in Gaza, we see those videos all the time. So it's almost as if this was all destined to do for whatever reason. I don't know why you guys decided to start a genocide on Gaza, but I have my opinions. I really do have my opinions. And as far as what we're doing over here in Russia and Ukraine, I truly know that's a proxy war. And whatever, when I see two white nations going against each other, I always wonder, now who backstabbed who? Because it's not as bad as what you're saying in Israel and Gaza, but it's like who backstabbed who and who's trying to prove a point. How long does this last? Because you're talking about two nations that literally speak the same language in Russia and Ukraine. They're really all the same people. It's like two brothers having a bad fight. We all know it's nothing in comparison to what you see going on in this genocide with Israel and Gaza. Pretty soon, that war is going to end in Russia and Ukraine. It's not going to trickle down to the U.S. You got people. Even in my earlier episode, I always reminded people in World War I and World War II. Guess who was our ally in both world wars? It was Russia. If you don't think that means something, it should resonate with you. You should make a lot of sense out of that. This is all proxy. Nothing is going to happen between USA and Russia. All right. So, but one thing I can honestly say is to steal for taxpayers' dollars. Our money is being wasted for whatever dirt these two have, and they have to go settle because they done backdoored each other in whatever way. I just want people to be real smart and start really getting more involved, or else you, the people, are going to continue to suffer underneath a manipulated government. Because you could believe, by God, the United States government is manipulating the people. So when you think either a Kamala or a Trump is going to do you justice, when there's an electoral college, whoever he has it set in place, they already know who they're going to go for. And from last time I recall, Trump is kind of leading with the electoral votes at this moment, which is why I'm always telling people, if you're just an American and you really pay attention and you know this country so well, you can almost know that this guy is coming back. And I can care less because I'm going to do me regardless. I'm going to be successful regardless of what I do because I just know how to use my own intelligence. It doesn't matter what president to me, but it really doesn't take a lot. If you're American and you were born and raised here and you truly understand how this country is run, you got to understand that he's coming back, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be back. So however you want to deal with that, whatever you believe, I just want to be the first guy. I want to be the guy to tell you I told you so. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, I really don't want to talk too much. I think I've said enough on today's episode. And ladies and gentlemen, have a good week. I appreciate you listening, and have a good day.
Man, this shit is getting crazy. Never seems to amaze me. I think the devil's trying to play me. Oh, Lord. But I'm a different type of nigga. Worth about 5 or 6 figures. Once that profit get bigger, I gotta triple up on this cheese. Take a flight right over them seas. Maybe make a trip to Haiti. Who knows? I just know that I have to go get it. And America's looking so hectic. Make you wanna grab the tech by the second. Yes, Lord. How the fuck it come to that? Most these niggas out here rats. And that statement can't be tracked. Yeah, I know. But these crackers is doing the sentencing. In the jail, you niggas repenting then. On the block, you be killing your men again. I know. This system been a trap. This shit must collapse. We ain't about far ways from that. Yeah, they know. We gon' get through regardless. All that small talk so harmless. Y'all pop us under this garment. Whoa. It ain't gotta come to that. Niggas been for peace till I proceed and really state the facts. These fuckers can't stand the fact we black. Jay Blake caught 7 to the back. And then I caught Aubrey with some armory, trying to run the 4 flat. I'm trying to keep my sanity intact. But the shit is getting deeper. Every time I watch the news, there's some white dudes playing like the Grim Reaper. Nigga, I ain't never been a sleeper. Rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. But I swear to God, you touch my doorknob, you niggas gonna meet your maker. This country getting faker. They gon' try to outdate ya. For the immortalized, they gon' prophesize, you ain't gotta speak the nature. Just when you caramelize, it's when they see demise, it must be second nature. You can do us all a favor. Go ahead and catch the vapors. Act civilized and match your eye for eye, cause it won't be no one to save ya. And I'm a lovable type of neighbor. Might run you a couple of favors, but when you cross the line is when I see divide. I ain't forgiving you like you're safer. Is you loving this type of behavior? I'm just a man, I ain't trying to persuade you. Hey.